Well, we were gonna tell you that the Camino's not all that expensive, except now I'm on my 4th pair of shoes. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Camino Day 21. We've been resting here in Burgos, as you know, for about 4 days.
Yeah.
Or 4 nights.
Well,
it was supposed to be 3, now it's 4. I'm also on my 4th pair of hiking shoes because I just bought a new pair last night again. So this Camino's getting a little expensive. Added an extra like 400 euros to the total.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Anywho, I don't want to talk about that. So today we're leaving Burgos. We're going to, we don't really know where.
No, we don't. We have a place in mind, but it's kind of a long walk, so we're just going to kind of fill it out. We have about 3 different other places that we might stop at if we are tired and all that. So
let's go.
Well, started off on a good note. Decided to come right down here by the river and walk on the nice grass and be a little easier on our joints and see the ducks. And the only problem is we can't find any stairs to get back out of here. And the turn to go where we need to go. So now we're having to backtrack.
It was a beautiful morning walk by the river
with
you, my love.
It was.
It's a sparkety pilgrim. That pilgrim's got pizzazz. We finally made it out of the city. That felt like it took forever.
Not as long as coming into the city.
No.
But it did feel like it took a little while.
And again, Burgos, just beautiful city.
Yes.
Beautiful, super fun city. Not well marked for the Camino.
It is not.
There's like one arrow every 5 or 6 city blocks. You're trying to figure out if you're going the right place.
Yeah, if we didn't have the Buen Camino app that has the actual trail that you can kind of keep your little dot on, that would have been really hard.
Never would have made it out. It's not okay.
And that's sad.
I like these little country churches. These little country chapels and churches are really sweet. And some of them have very sweet spirit about them.
Yeah.
They're just nice.
Little hobbit holes. Well, most people stop here in Ornelas de Camino. It's about 24 kilometers. And we're going to try to make the Huntadas. Could be a bad decision. Could be a good decision. I don't really know because it's about 30-something kilometers. We'll see how we feel in another 10 kilometers-ish. It's really cool, the wind blowing on the grass. It's just making waves across like ripples. Well, unfortunately, Abby's nerve pain, or where we think is nerve pain, has come back today. And you know how it is, it comes in spurts for her. She'll be fine for a while, then all of a sudden it just locks up. So we were hoping those 3 rest days in Burgos would help out with that. But unfortunately, we think she needs to see probably a chiropractor or massage therapist or somebody who can work on that hip. It's been a long day, way too far today. We know our limits And this is twice we've kind of pushed over it, and now we've learned we can't do that. Our limit's about 24 to 26 kilometers. Anything over that, it's just a grind.
I'm kicking myself because I knew all day today that there were not going to be rooms in this town. And every other place we passed and every town we placed, I knew we should have stopped. And so now I'm kicking myself because we've been more than 30 kilometers and there was nowhere to stay anywhere in that town. Basically, we can walk 5 more miles to an albergue that's very small and doesn't have electricity.
Yeah.
Or we can walk 8 more miles and hope to get a bed in the next town. You know, there's record numbers of people this year already.
Yes, already.
So if you were thinking about coming to do it this summer, I wouldn't.
If you haven't,
honestly,
yeah,
I wouldn't.
If you haven't already booked your entire trip by now,
yeah,
even.
I wouldn't bother.
Nope.
Because right now, it's just all spirituality is gone out of it.
Yeah.
The enjoyment is kind of gone because you're just in a race for a bed every day.
Yep.
Because if you don't get to the next town by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're not getting a bed. I hope it's just this year.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're getting the compiling of 2020, 2021, and 2022 when there were all the COVID restrictions, and this year's the first year that it's like open all the way. So I think that's kind of what's happened, is we're just getting a conglomeration of all of those years.
Thought there was enough hotels, albergues in that little town. I mean, there were like 4 albergues and a hotel, or maybe 2 hotels, and they're all booked, all completely full. So it's just crazy.
I'm afraid long gone are the days of just true pilgrimaging and just walking till you are tired and finding a place and settling down.
Yeah.
I think those days for the Camino are gone.
This past 3 miles was beautiful. I'm too mad and angry that I couldn't get a bed that I didn't film any of it. So I've just been head down, walking, glancing every now and then, just trying to power through. It's like it's just a ruin of a old church. It's pretty. It's crazy looking. There's something here, I don't know. All the beds to choose from.
Oh, yay! Wonderful.
Choose a bed, put your bag.
Oh, you guys, so we made it to the next place, that one that was 6 kilometers. It is in this incredible old ruin of a church, an old hostel. And when we got here, I said, "Do you have a bed?" And he was like, "Yes, my friend," and gave me a huge hug. And Ryan too. And so I think he could tell on our face that we were just so exhausted. But this place is absolutely beautiful. There's no Wi-Fi for distraction here. There's no hot water or electricity. So it's just going to be a beautiful night with what looks like a beautiful host, and maybe we'll get a little of the spirituality back in our Camino tonight. Well, like always, it turns out the Lord had a plan. This place is just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely redeemed all the crappiness of the day. Like, it's just incredible. Who gets to sleep in like the ruin of a monastery from 1146? It's just cool. It's just really cool.
Put a star in here. It says,
Oh, it's a fancy one.
since you sleep here, you are a star.
Perfect. When you stay here, it's just sort of like the communal aspect of it. Like, pilgrims help cook the dinner, and pilgrims help wash the dishes. He told us, usually we cook together, but you were with Christ, because I was sitting in front of the crucifix statue. He's like, I didn't want to bother you, and he was with his drone. Which is true. He also told us that we could put the beds together tonight in the floor if we want, since we're the only people staying here. He said we can do anything we want, except make the sex on the altar. Yeah, I'm way too tired for that in Torino, on the altar or anywhere else. All done.
All done.
So the story of this place is that it was founded in 1146 as a monastery, the monks of San Anton, I believe, and they were charged with pilgrim care. So they took care of pilgrims, specifically during the Middle Ages. There was a disease called the Fire of San Anton. That spread. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was apparently pretty prevalent during the Middle Ages, and so the monks here were charged with caring for pilgrims, and they were conferred with a Tau cross, and all around the monastery here you can see the Tau cross. It's on the gates, and it's what he put in our little pilgrim stamp book too. But yeah, and they were here until like the 1700s, I believe it said, and then the order just sort of fizzled out, and then later the monastery was kind of disillusioned and stuff was taken elsewhere. But so yeah, it's a pretty amazing place, and I mean they took care of pilgrims for like over 500 years, maybe closer to 600. And now there's an albergue here since 2002, so they're still taking care of pilgrims. So pretty awesome legacy. I'm gonna sleep like a baby. It's gonna be amazing.
Good morning.
Morning, y'all. It's day 22.
Yeah, I think so.
We ended up having a beautiful night last night
We did.
with Antorino, and he's silly and funny, and he had this man with him that's just a friend from the next town. He just called him his grandpa, and he was a jokester, very funny man. So we ended on a high note yesterday. Got some bad news from some friends that are ahead of us. They said they have resorted to taking the train to Lyon because there are just no rooms left. They've been stranded the last few days too, so it's not looking like it's any better up ahead of us. So we're gonna try to make it a short day today and stay in one of the towns that's like not on tourist guides to go to, and we'll just see what happens. But I don't know. This town is so beautiful. It's like a big monastery out on the left, an ancient castle ruin up on the hill, big beautiful cathedral, like rolling hills. I mean, it is just beautiful. One of our friends highly suggested to us that we spend some time in this town, and so we were sort of looking forward to exploring it. But since we have no bed tonight, we're in a race for a bed, and we're probably not going to get to. and that's making me sad. So Ryan is currently trying to call ahead to all of these albergues and see if we can find somewhere to stay tonight. Trying to go ahead, but so far they're either complete or not answering the phone or whatever. So we're trying to book ahead, but not going well. Big tabletop mesa sure gives you lots of beautiful views.
Yeah. All right. You ready for this?
They paved it because it's so steep.
Yeah.
Well, we had a redeeming kind of day today, and it's a good thing because I'm hurting today. I don't know if yesterday was just too much or what, but today I was back to hurting a lot. But we made it a shorter day today. We got to the first town, which I think was like 17 kilometers or something like that. So about 11 miles. And Ryan was able to score us a room at a little guest house. Very, very sleepy town. It was not looking like we were gonna get anything here. There's like 2 albergues that are closed, not open, like for the season yet or whatever, which is nuts. But anyway, we were able to get this little private room in a very cute guest house, and it's only like noon, so we're gonna have some time to rest today, and I am very, very grateful. We think the little man might have accidentally given us someone else's room, but he said it was okay. So we're calling it a day. Get lost. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to day 23 of the Camino. Today, we go from the village of Iterpo de la Vega to Filamentero de Campos, about 23 kilometers. And we've heard that it kind of stinks, like a rocky road and such. But I guess we won't know till we get there. Let's go. So Ryan and I, very much by accident today, have left the crowds, which is kind of nice. And it's because we took a really short day yesterday and we got to a little sleepy town early that didn't really have many places to stay. So everybody was pretty much headed past us to the next town. And so when we got up, there was only one albergue and it only held like 6 or 8 people. So when we got up this morning, there's literally no one on the trail with us at this point, at least, probably till we get to the next big town, which is pretty great because it's been busy and everyone sort of dreads the meseta, but it's the part that I was looking forward to because I think I need the solace for a while. And so I'm looking forward to today. There's nobody out here but us. We've seen one other person and it's just a beautiful morning. All right, guys, so there's a little issue with the meseta that you need to prepare for if you're coming. Once you get past Burgos, really, but definitely past Jornada, the towns become farther apart. They are very, very small and very sleepy. And sometimes they close early. Like last night, Ryan went down at, 6 o'clock?
Well,
5 o'clock?
Yeah. I think it was 5 o'clock.
And the guy was like, I'm closing for the day. And they don't open the next morning till like 9 or 10. So Ryan had to like hurry and impulse buy food for breakfast. And because yesterday we had no breakfast because when we walked the 40 kilometers just to find a place to stay, we ended up staying in the middle of nowhere. So therefore there was no grocery store, yada, yada, yada. And when we got to the first town of the day, it was still too early. None of the grocery stores were open. So you really have to, which we're usually pretty good about preparing for the next day. We've been really good about going to the store and stuff, but our 40-kilometer day definitely threw us off. And so just know you really need to be prepared for the meseta. You need to, when you see a grocery store, you need to stop and grab a few things that you can keep in your bag and carry with, because you might not see another one for quite some time.
Last night, I went down to the lobby area and met a guy from Andorra. And he's done the Camino like 5 times. We got to talking, and he was telling me his experiences and stuff. And then he talked about this year, and he's like, "This is the most people I've ever seen this early."
Yeah.
He goes,
well, all the guys who have done the guys,
yeah,
the old guys have said this is insane.
Yeah.
Like, this is nuts.
Even one of our Canadian friends who's done this like 5 times, end up just
he does lectures on it
and lectures, and he's like, "This is the busiest I've ever seen the Camino."
Yeah. Once you get past Burgos, we believe you technically enter the Spanish meseta.
Yeah.
Which is like a high plateau of just flat grassland. And supposedly, they say the first part of the Camino is physical, like just getting your body used to doing this every day.
Climbing the mountains and stuff. Yeah.
And just getting your feet used to it. The second part is mental, because the meseta, you are just alone with your thoughts. There's not a lot to look at.
Yeah.
And traditionally, a lot of people clear out, so there's not a lot of people.
Yeah, because they say there's not a whole lot to see. Right. So a lot of people skip this part. They'll take the train or bus to the next stage of the Camino, because it's, like you said, this is the mental boring part of it.
Right. And then lastly, it's supposed to be the spiritual part, but I think it's sort of turned into a party.
Yeah, it is.
We've pretty much heard the last 100 kilometers are really frustrating for people who've done the whole thing, because you get shuttle tour bus groups that are just stopping at each site and getting back on the bus, and then you get school trips.
Yeah, with speakers and boom boxes.
College people with speakers. Yeah. So anyway, it'll definitely be a different vibe.
Yeah.
But we wanted to take this time in the meseta and just dispel a few of the myths that we heard and that we kind of took to heart about the Camino, and we're expecting, even from people who did it as early as last year.
Yeah.
That are just not true this year.
Nope.
And 2023 might be an anomaly.
It might be.
You know, it's the first year that everything has been open, and some of the albergues still aren't back, like, I don't know. And there's just record numbers of people. So it could just be an anomaly this year. We're willing to secede that.
Yes, I think so.
But here are a few things we were told that are not true. Number 1, municipal albergues do not take reservations. They are first come, first served. That is just flat out not true.
That is not what we have experienced. There's been several times we've shown up and there's empty beds. We can see the empty beds, but they're like, "We're all full." I'm like, "What? There are those beds?" No, they reserved. And we're like, "Wait a minute, you're not supposed to." But we've been turned away several times because.
Which leads to the second myth. Municipals don't turn away people. They will throw a bed on the floor for you, or open a gym, or do something else.
Yeah.
You know, we were told by lots of people, "Don't worry, they'll make space for you."
Nope.
Nope. We were just flat out turned away.
Yep.
In several towns. Not only were we turned away, but we had to like beg to even get them to get on the phone and make a phone call to the next town and see if they had any beds.
Yeah, they're supposed to be a part of a group called Red, which kind of connects all the albergues together, so they can talk to each other and let them know about the crowds. If there's a big crowd coming, they let people know so they can open up extra beds and stuff. But we don't feel like that's happening this time.
And then lastly, for now, the meseta will clear out and there won't be nearly as many people. No, y'all.
Nope.
Not this year.
Nope.
It's quiet this morning because everyone leaves earlier than us and we catch up with them later.
Yeah.
But It's no, we've been walking in parades of people through the grassland.
Absolutely.
Like just a parade of people. At one point Ryan looked back history and he was like, wow. I feel like a drum major. Like, I mean, it was just a parade of people behind us. So definitely that is not the case this year. I think normally it is, but not now.
Nope.
Also, that May would be warm.
No, we're freezing our tail ends off. This whole, ever since Burgos, in Burgos and on, we've just been cold.
Yeah, we don't say any of this to complain. Like, even with the days we haven't found a bed, we've been blessed at the end of the day to have an amazing experience.
Oh yeah.
Both times, like God has provided for us, and the people, you know, for the most part, on the Camino that we've met and engaged with are awesome.
Yeah.
There are lots that you don't engage with.
Yes.
But that are just like on a mission or a bed race or whatever. But the ones you do engage with are amazing.
Yeah.
Most of the hostel owners have been absolutely awesome.
Yes.
So we have had a beautiful Camino experience.
Yes.
So we're not trying to like be negative about it or anything, but did just want to dispel a few things.
Yes.
You might need a sleeping bag because it's cold.
It is cold.
And not everywhere has a blanket.
Yeah. You might need a jacket.
You might need a jacket. I have on a toboggan today. I mean, I know to most of y'all that's a sled, but in the South, this is a toboggan. And so, yeah, just a few little tidbits.
Yep.
If you come before June, you might have some cold days.
Yeah.
And you might need those things.
Yep.
And don't believe anything you see about crowd control and beds and all that mess.
No.
You do need to reserve.
Yep.
And
Call
not
ahead.
just the day of.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to reserve the day of.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But we did have luck last night reserving 3 days in advance.
Yes.
So we were able to get our next 3 nights reserved. And so we're sitting pretty today. And when we say reserve, literally the easiest way to do it, and all you're doing is either messaging them through WhatsApp or calling them, and they just put your name on a list.
Yeah.
So you're not paying for anything. It's just like a reservation at a restaurant or whatever. You're just getting your name on the list for the day, and then you have to show up or call them and verify that you're coming by 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or they'll give your bed away.
Yep.
So that's kind of the gist and what we found to be the easiest way to do things. So. It's a very special person's happy birthday today. Not even just a happy birthday, the big 4-0. He is officially an old man today.
And we could have done 40 kilometers for 40 years.
I think you vastly overestimate my love for you.
Oh. Okay.
I think we found it.
They did say somebody, I saw ducks there. Yeah, I did.
And there's a duck and a giant naked lady.
Uh-huh.
Oh, 2 giant
Two.
naked ladies. Alright, you guys, we've landed here at Albergue Amanecer in the little town of Villa Matero de Campos. It is a beautiful little place. It's very rural. So we have geese and geese protection outside, but it's great. It's a room with maybe like 6 or 8 beds in each and a private bath. Really nice, big, sturdy bunk beds. Very friendly staff. There's a great big kitchen area and lovely outside area with sitting. There's a little restaurant that sells some things. So I think our bed was $10 each, and then our meal was $12 each for, the like 5-course pilgrim meal. She said they have all kinds of stuff, salad and pasta and meat dish and dessert and wine and all of the above. So yeah, I think it's gonna be, today was a good day. Fairly easy day, aside from, feet hurting like crazy, but other than that, good day. So yay. Get out of here. I'm having a moment with my feet. Leave me alone.
So they sang to me, brought me a little pastry with saying me happy birthday and candle, and it was very sweet.
You like a piece of bread?
You want more bread?
Always more bread. It's incredible.
Oh, it's so good.
Everything is so good. Huge salad, huge pasta, huge soup, chicken, dessert, wine. Amazing.
Amazing.
Milk. No, we were joking.
I got a kick out of, they had this all like barricaded off to keep the geese from being up by the doors, because sometimes they can be mean.
Goose protection.
Goose protection.
There's the terrorist. He's all puffed up this morning. His butt's all puffed up. Oh no. Do not attack me, Goose.
Go ahead.
This place was beautiful. It's owned by a guy from Germany, and he is actually housing a family of Ukrainian refugees from Mariupol, and they were just the absolute sweetest. They made everything perfect, and they said normally everyone sits outside. There's this big yard area with hammocks and bocce ball and like yard games. And
there's a ping pong table over there.
It's just it's cold.
It's cold,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, it's just the most beautiful night. We had the most amazing communal meal. They got this great big table.
Yeah. Everybody was friendly, talking, and it was. We got serenaded by the guy next door. The city next door. He comes over and plays the guitar for the pilgrims, and he just sings. And so you had dinner music, and then it was my birthday, and he sang "Happy Birthday" to me, and it was just.
They made him a cupcake with a candle.
They did.
It was cute.
It was.
And of course, I came to dinner without the camera or my phone or anything to capture it.
Yeah.
So I was kicking myself for that, but I didn't know they were going to do it. It was a surprise.
Yeah.
So all the like communal aspect and camaraderie and that kind of stuff that you imagine with the Camino, like you like have in your head, that's what we got last night. So it's pretty great.
Yep. Calzadilla de la Cuza.
Calzadilla de la Cueza.
Cueza.
Okay.
Calzadilla de la Cueza. That's where we're going today.
Sure. Here in Spain, it's the only place I've ever seen it, I think. They build these really weird, or awesome actually, hay castles. And like, I'm from a farming state, farming community. We have like lots of hay bales and hay barns and round bales, but here in Spain, they just build them into like giant forts. And it makes me think about how much time I spent playing on hay bales as a child and how fun it was, and how much more fun it would have been if I had a giant hay fort castle. big one tonight. There's lots of people in this room. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Our excellent stay here in the Calzada de la Cueza at the Camino Real Albergue. Really good. The host is excellent. He speaks really good English.
Yes.
I would definitely recommend that you book this ahead of time. It has a great kitchen area. It has good Wi-Fi. There's a couple. It has a swimming pool.
Yeah, it does have a swimming pool.
And a big washing area. Here you have dinner down at the hotel, which is owned by the same kind of company, and you don't need a ticket or anything. You just go down for dinner. But there's a couple of downfalls. Number one, the room is just a big open room with a ton of beds, so you're all in the same room, which is not that big a deal. A lot of the albergues are that way, but this one's the first one where the bathroom's been the same way.
Yeah.
It was just one big room, all the showers, all the toilets, and all the sinks for men and women. So like there was not anywhere where you could go change in privacy, you know, or like change your clothes or like. So, I mean, we're pretty used to staying in hostels, so we make it work. But if you aren't, it might make this one might make you a little.
It could.
It could be a little awkward. So today, we're gonna reach the halfway point. Woohoo! There's supposed to be some sort of monument today. Our ending goal is Sahagun, and I think it's like
22 kilometers.
22 kilometers. It's freezing again this morning, and it's windy. Whew, so cold, my hands are freezing. But yeah, so we're supposed to pass the halfway point today. There's supposed to be like a rock monument thing to mark the halfway, and so let's go. We are 0.2 minutes into our hike.
Yes, and I got a rock in my shoe.
It's a constant battle on these gravel paths, like all day. You're like, there's a rock in my shoe. Should I get it out? Should I, like, is it big enough to worry about?
The answer is you get it out.
But like yesterday is a really fine, like kind of dusty path, and so it was like, you just had to get the big ones out because there was always going to feel like there was something in your shoe, like all day. You know, I was just thinking, now more than ever in my life, I'm really grateful for cars. Yeah. Thanks, Henry Ford. Cars are great.
Hey, halfway point.
We made it halfway!
Yeah, wait, they said they want to take a picture. Halfway.
Happy dance! With the hip.
Yeah.
Dance with the shoulder. And the knee.
Dance with your shoulders. This is Santa Cruz Albergue in Sahagun, and we've been told this place is amazing by multiple friends that came through, but it is awesome. It's in this huge old building that looks like a monastery. For €7 a piece, we got a private room. It is bunk beds, but it is a private room with our own ensuite bathroom with a toilet, bidet, and a bathtub. For €7. The people are so kind, extremely organized, and they put on all kinds of stuff. They have a 5 o'clock Pilgrim's coffee in the room. They have a 6:30 Pilgrim's Mass. They have a 7 o'clock blessing. They have a communal dinner where you get one free course and then everybody brings something, like the pilgrims all bring something for second course. And then they have a breakfast for donation. It's beautiful. It is sparkling clean, and yeah, these people got it down. Like, they greeted us with water and candy and a smile, and like just the most receptive, like awesome hospitality. This place is the jam.